Doubtful it's Republicans attacking Tesla dealerships around the country. It's pretty wild, actually. The other night, Donald Trump said these are domestic terrorists. Everybody laughed about it and scoffed at it.
So when they do it to a Tesla dealership, it's really bad. But when they do it to the halls of Congress, we should pardon them. Is that your position?
No, I've never. I don't
Are
support,
we okay with
I know you haven't been around for a while, so let me educate you about my position about January the 6th.
I'm so sorry.
Let me educate you.
No, you don't need to patronize.
You don't need to. You don't need to be condescending to me. So let me educate you about my position. Threat and violence all over the country, and people seem to be laughing about it or fine with it. It's outrageous. I've sat at this table and had people say, we should cut Elon Musk from the government totally. He rescued our astronauts today. Is that what we want?
Based Scott Jennings has had enough because he erupts on this woke panel. He committed a genocide on his own woke behind CNN panel. The one lone Republican is out here fighting for his life. Or at least he was. He tired of the defense. Now he's going on offense because he called out these radical leftists for being in denial. They love to call out January 6th, and they're still bringing up that from literally like 4 years ago. We're in a whole nother presidency. They're still talking about that. However, now they're trying to act like, oh, these Tesla dealerships getting blown up and shot at and all of this other ridiculous stuff. People painting swastikas on people's cars, keying the cars. That's not terrorism, one. And two, oh, we don't even know if it was Democrats doing it. It could have been anybody. Like, guys, these people are so disingenuous. I'm so sick of it. Apparently, Scott is too, so he really tore them a new asshole today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and react to this.
On the subject of Elon Musk, there's been all kinds of vandalism against Teslas and Tesla dealerships all over the country. You know, Las Vegas, Kansas City, Encinitas, Buffalo Grove, Littleton, Mass. I grew up right next to Littleton, Mass. Loveland, Colorado, Tigard, Oregon, all over the place. Musk was asked about all of this on television tonight. Listen to what he said.
Look at that. It's literally everywhere.
I always thought the left, or Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into dealerships. I think we just have a deranged. There's some kind of mental illness thing going on here. I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy.
Actually, I'm sure he's got lots of evidence for that.
Right. This is the same clown that I posted a video about yesterday. Anytime you point out something very obvious, he's like, well, what evidence do you have to support that? Like, fool, the place is burning down. Is that not evidence enough that something is going on that shouldn't be happening? Like, this guy is a clown, and he's already starting off wrong with me.
Look, I will be consistent on this. I don't think vandalism, I don't think violence is what you do to make your point. I've said that around January 6th. I've said it around protests, and I'll say it here. Do I agree what Elon Musk is doing with Doge? No. But what I would encourage people, and I don't even know if the folks who are doing the vandalism are actual Democrats or Republicans, but they're people who want to destroy our democracy as well. This is what I will tell folks. In moments like this, if you are so enraged that you want to act on something, you have a representative, you have a senator in Congress that doesn't have to be there any longer. You should go tell them that you are disgusted, to Sir Michael's point, that you don't like that they are not taking their congressional responsibility to heart and challenging the president and say, let us pass this law, let us repeal back this funding. But taking it with vandalism, don't agree with it, don't associate it with it. It shouldn't be a part of the Democratic brand. It shouldn't be part of the Republican brand. It's not an American brand.
So doubtful it's Republicans attacking Tesla dealerships around the country. It's pretty wild, actually.
Come on.
The other night,
that's a stupid
Donald
thing
Trump
to
said
say.
these are domestic terrorists. Everybody laughed about it and scoffed at it. That video looks like terrorism to me. I mean, it's obviously an organized, coordinated effort, however people are communicating with each other, to do this to people around the country who chose to buy a Tesla at some point in the past, many of whom I'm sure are Democrats who bought them in the first place, all because their entire political worldview is ruled by their emotions. And that's the American left right now. It is one angry mob after another willing to take things into their own hands, up to and including keying, firebombing, and otherwise vandalizing cars and car dealerships and charging stations. It's outrageous. It is terrorism. People ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson.
So when they do it to a
Facts.
Tesla dealership, it's really bad. But when they do it to the halls of Congress, we should pardon them.
Y'all knew that was coming, right? It always comes back to January 6th. The Democrats can do no wrong because January 6th happened. They act like January 6th was slavery. And literally nobody was even killed by the January 6th people. The police attacked them on January 6th. Not the other way around. These people defended themselves. They went to the Capitol, yes, but they didn't just go up there and just start just beating on cops. Like, these people attacked them. The cops attacked the people for protesting. And now all of a sudden the narrative for years, the Democrats want to push this desperately. Oh yeah, January 6th, January 6th. It's like, shut the F up about January 6th. Nobody cares. It didn't win you the election. It's not currying favor. It's a stupid excuse. It doesn't work.
Position?
No, I've never. I don't
Are
support.
we okay with the January 6th ordinance?
I know you haven't been around for a while, so let me educate you about my position about January the 6th.
I'm so sorry.
Let me
I'm so
educate.
sorry.
Let me
You don't
educate
need
you.
to-
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
need to
No, you don't
patronize
need to.
me.
You don't.
I'm just
And you don't need to be
saying-
condescending to
I'm
me.
not
So let me
condescending.
educate you about my position. You want to attack me? Let me
I'm
finish.
just asking
Let me
you-
finish.
I'm just asking
Let
you
me
a
finish.
question.
Let's do this January
I'm just
6th
asking
and
you
then
a
Neera.
question. I'm
Yeah.
sorry you're getting emotional.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're a condescending person who hasn't been paying attention to what I do.
Okay.
Stop, guys.
So here's the issue. I didn't support what happened on January the 6th and was one of the first Republicans to call it out. I don't support the pardons. I have repeatedly, just like my friend Ashley here, said that no violence in our political system is acceptable. But this right here, what's going on with a guy who helps our country, who runs successful companies, who doesn't have to be doing this, and now one of his companies is under systematic terroristic threat and violence all over the country, and people seem to be laughing about it or fine with it. It's outrageous.
Facts.
I've sat at this table and had people
Hypocrites.
say, we should cut Elon Musk from the government totally. He rescued our astronauts today. Is that what we want?
Hello?
The treatment of this guy is outrageous. These people who are doing this need to be found, put in jail, and made an example of. That's my point.
Anyone who commits violence against Tesla or Congress or anyone else should be put in jail, 1,000%. But that should not stifle dissent or opposition
course.
from Elon Musk.
Give it a little lip service. Give it a little both sides. Go
No,
ahead.
no, okay.
So
Okay,
John,
we're so both sides here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to say that people are legitimately upset. They're legitimately upset
And
at
that-
Elon Musk,
they're
and they're doing it
legitimate?
on their own, but there is no reason to have violence in the country. But I just wish all of us would support criticism of, or would support punishing people who are violent wherever they are.
Guys, they've already been punished. The people on January 6th went to jail and they were unfairly sent to jail. Many of them didn't even get an official sentence. Some of them got really long sentences. And the people who were still waiting to go to jail, they didn't even process their court cases, so they never even got any sentencing at all. They were just waiting for 20 years. Like, they're just waiting for their doom, effectively. And the Democrats were trying to make an example out of them for political purposes. The reason why Trump called them hostages, political prisoners, is because they were. These people, nobody went on January 6th and burned the building down, shot bullets, right? Like, this never happened. Like, so what are these people talking about? And again, the cops are the ones who attacked them, and the people got angry. They're already frustrated, so they fought them back. You could argue, well, maybe they shouldn't have did that. I don't even know about that. What are you gonna do? Just let them just keep throwing smoke bombs and beating you over the head with batons?
For what I
And not
understand, the
letting them
Teslas
out
will
of jail.
fall apart if you just leave them alone anyway.
Yeah.
There's nothing really anybody really needs to do about it. Just drive them enough. Eventually, the things will start to just like
I do think
fall off the side. From what I've read, allegedly.
One thing that would, and I don't actually think anybody was both siding this, is I think one of the ways to actually move past this is not to be. I don't know who these people are. I don't associate with them as Democrats. They're wrong. I don't know who the January 6 people were. You don't associate with them as Republicans. They're wrong. And that is the fact. That is it. We don't,
How is this not both siding it? You're literally bringing up something from both sides in order to somehow justify the fact that this isn't as bad because, well, the other side has something similar. Guys, it is not the same thing at all. I think we all should know that by now. At least most of us do.
right is right, is wrong. And I think when we try to over-politicize things, that's when tensions get high, and that's where we are in this country.
Have you-
Both sides feel unseen, unheard, and they're taking violence to express themselves.
Flashback.
And I don't actually think anybody was both siding this.
Shout out and respect to Scott Jennings, because I think that Democrats don't get that the country is well beyond January 6th. Certainly independents and conservatives are. Like, a lot of people were uncomfortable with the way things went down, but not because the Republicans went to the Capitol to protest. It was mainly because of the way that the story was twisted politically and weaponized against Trump. They trying to lock people up and throw away the key. They're melting down over these pardons. Like, a lot of these people have never done anything wrong. And some of them, again, only a fraction of the people there even committed violent acts. And they tried to charge everybody there, who, including people who were outside the Capitol and never even went into the building. Like, these people are crazy, guys. They went overboard. Everybody knows it. The Democrats know it too. Ashley here is just being a Democrat shill and propagandist, trying to pretend like, well, we don't know if they were Democrats. Like, that's so freaking disingenuous. And I love exposing these people for the hypocrites that they are. I'm glad that he went off on this propagandist and made her feel extremely uncomfortable, because she was being retarded and she deserved to be called out and made to feel uncomfortable, just like the people who are at those dealerships who feel uncomfortable. Everybody at a Tesla dealership gotta feel like, man, I hope nobody comes by and freaking blows up a car today, or nobody comes by and shoots up the place today. These people are crazy. And yes, credit to them for denouncing the violence, but shame on them for bringing up January 6th. Anytime any Democrats do anything wrong, that's all they got, is some ish that happened years ago. This would be the equivalent of black people still trying to bring up slavery and civil rights. And it's like, okay, are you a slave? Do you not have civil rights? It's tiring, it's dull, it's old, it's useless, and it doesn't get you anywhere. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
One more on Tesla, Caroline. Tim Walz, Governor Walz, saying last night he frequently checks Tesla stock. In doing so, to quote, give me a little boost during the day. How should Americans view politicians who take pride in the downfall of an American car company?
I think that's quite sad, but I think Governor Walz unfortunately is living a sad existence after his devastating defeat on November 5th.